you know, that's just how they are. They're still my family, and the way I acted was really shitty, and I should not have overreacted the way I did. So he would like comfort me, and he would make me feel better about everything that was going on in my life, and he would hug me, and he would like just make me feel like really loved. And it just felt really good to know that someone actually likes me and is dedicated to me and is willing to spend all their time with me. But like the thing is, he didn't give me a lot of space. Like he literally wanted to spend all his time with me, so I never really had alone time because I was like brainwashed into thinking that I had to spend all my time with him. And he would get like really super mad and jealous whenever I talked to another guy, and he wouldn't even let me hang out with my best friends because he just wanted me to be with him all the time. Hey Zoe. And I'm in the middle of a video, stop it. That's my cat, sorry. And you know, he would just like say really shitty stuff. He was a very negative person, and he turned me into a negative person being around all this negativity all the time, because literally I spent most of my time with this boy. And like I would like rant to him about my mom and my cousin. He would say like really rude shitty stuff like, oh, your mom and your cousin are such bitches, fuck them, they should go die. And then he would like be saying stuff like, oh, I want to shoot them. He'd be talking about how he wants to shoot people and kill people, which I should have seen that as a red flag right away. And whenever like he was very overly sensitive, so he would like be all over dramatic over things. Just like he would just be very over dramatic, and then just get like lose his temper very easily. And you know, nobody really wanted to deal with him at school except for me. And also he faked being depressed, so he pretended to have depression. And yeah, but he basically brainwashed me and manipulated me to like him, even though he was not that great looking. He was not good looking at all. But the only reason why I liked him is because how he acted and the way he like, and he acted like he was a cool person. He was on a football team, so I thought it was really cool that he was on the football team, and he was kind of sort of popular because he was on the football team, and I like that. As cringy as it sounds, I felt like I can rant about all my problems to him and he would understand. And yeah, I don't know, he just brainwashed me into liking him by being all nice and sweet to me and stuff. And you know, I eventually noticed like all my relationships with my friends and family falling apart slowly, because he made me think like he made me feel like he put me in this mindset where I felt like nobody mattered to me except for him, because he would literally get really pissed off whenever I talked to anyone else, even if it was my own family members. He wanted me to talk to him all the time, every day. And then whenever I wouldn't talk to him, he would like try like make me feel bad, like, oh my god, I missed you so much, I, I don't know what I would do without you, like I want to die without you. And it makes me feel bad. And then he would like video call me, and then he would like get all upset, and then like I hated seeing him upset, so I was like, okay, so I'll devote more time to you. So I devoted most of my time to him and not so much to other people. And he put me in a mindset where I felt like nothing mattered, no one mattered except for him. Everything revolves around him, the whole world revolves around him. And I eventually noticed my friends didn't want to deal with it anymore, because I acted like a bitchy person. I acted like really spoiled and over dramatic over things, and I would post like very attention seeking posts online, like, oh my god, I'm so depressed, blah blah blah. And because I wanted this boy to feel bad for me, because he would like say he felt really bad for me whenever I posted stuff like this, and he was mentally fucked up, let's be honest. But yeah, and I just felt really good to know that someone cared about me and felt bad for me. But instead of like actually trying to help me, I don't know if this is making sense, he would just like be completely rude about everything. he was really stupid and really dumb, and he was an outcast. Even though he was on the football team, he was an outcast, and I feel like he just got put on that football team because coach felt bad for him. That's that. He would make videos like threatening people and cussing people out. He like was rude to people, bullied people, cussed people out to try to be cool, and he made me feel like I had to act that way too, so I felt like I was cool and not an outcast. I don't know if this is making any sense. So yeah, so I acted really rude and bitchy and disrespectful towards people because he thought it was cool, and I literally did whatever it took to make him like me and think I was cool. I did really stupid shit to get him to like me and think I was cool. And I left my previous little guy friend, who I wasn't like really dating, but you know, he was like my little guy friend. I left him for this shitty boy. I noticed my best friend, who I've known since I was 10 years old, drift out of my life. Yeah, and he was just very a negative person. He was a bad influence on me. He put me in this mindset where I felt like my grades didn't matter. Like, I didn't care about my grades. I didn't care about my family. I didn't care about anything anymore except for him. And I was a really fake person. Like, I would only pretend to be nice to people, but really, like, I felt like, you know, I felt like I had to be cool to please this boy. So yeah, and he would threaten people, and he posted a video online threatening my little guy friend, who I was with at the time, and got upset about it, and he broke up for that. And you know, well, I mean, we already were broken up. What the fuck? I'm doing a bad job explaining this, but yeah, and you know, everyone saw him as a complete total outcast. People like, this video that he posted like went viral, and a lot of people were reposting it online and on their social medias, and then they were just like, oh my god, look at this outcast, and then they're like, oh my god, everyone's like, oh my god, so you were his girlfriend. Oh, not to mention that same day that he did that, like the night that he did that, was the same day that he stayed after school with me and, you know, made me do some stuff with him. And he really, like, used me, like, for sexual pleasure. Yeah. And, after that, you know, I felt really, really bad about myself because I was involved in this. I did not try to stop him from making that video or doing anything that he did. I felt really bad, and that was like a really eye-opening thing to me, because a lot of people were like, you know, they were like, they're like, damn, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? Because, you know, the video that he posted was so wrong. He was basically saying he's gonna shoot someone or something. Yeah. And he got suspended for that. The police got involved. All kinds of bad stuff happened. And I felt really shitty at that moment. I was like, oh my fucking god, this is all my fault. Because none of this would never have happened if I would not have gotten with him. Because I made him think that it was okay to do this, because the mindset that he put me in. Because I wanted to, like, be cool, and like, he always like told me stuff like, oh, you're the best girl I ever met in my entire life, I love you so much, you're just such a great person. I just really loved and appreciated the fact that somebody cared about me, that, you know, I didn't even like realize any of the bad signs of this relationship. I just became so blind to everything. He treated my friends and family bad, and so did I. And I became blind to it. He just put me in a really shitty mindset, basically. But after what happened, it was really eye-opening, and he got in trouble. I got in really big trouble because I stayed after school and I didn't tell my mom. Like, I stayed like really late with him because he put me in a mindset where I felt like I had to stay with him and not go home to my family because he was more important with my family, so I just stayed with him the entire time till like really late at night, and I never called my mom. Hi, Zoe. And then I realized how fucking stupid I was, and you know, my mom, my cousin, my friend were all just like, oh, I warned you about this, because nobody ever really liked him because he was really cocky and weird, and he was such a bitch, and apparently he was like sending messages to my cousin threatening her, and he didn't even know my cousin, which is really fucking stupid, and he was threatening my best friend. She tried to tell me that. I was like, no, you're overreacting, it's no big deal. And yeah, so that was that. I felt really bad about myself after this relationship because I felt like it was my fault. I cried for a long time, like days straight. And this happened like literally right before the week of finals at the end of the school year. So I was really fucking depressed. I did end up passing my finals though. So I really kicked myself in the butt and worked extra hard to pass my finals, and I did. And yeah, but I was just really fucking depressed. Like, I hated myself so much. Like, this boy is really, I realize how really fucked up this boy is, and that he really does need help because he's got some serious problems. And I just felt so stupid and ashamed of myself for being involved with that in that kind of relationship. So, and I was just like, oh my fucking god, this is part of my past. I have a bad past now because of this boy. Oh my god, I felt so bad. And then my one best friend was really understanding. I love her so much. I'm really grateful that she was understanding. You know, she tried to warn me. I didn't listen to her, but she's still there for me. Oh, and he also threatened my other best friend because she was like, that was the day that I went missing, and she was like really worried about me, so she texted him. And then he said something like he was going to kill someone. And then he said like, yeah, some really bad stuff. And I felt really fucking stupid for being involved in a relationship like this, basically. And I was really, really super depressed all summer long. And I was really nervous and scared about going back to school and seeing this boy again because of the things that happened in the past. I mean, I was getting smarter at that point. At that point, I knew not to be involved in that shit anymore. But still, I was really fucking nervous about going back to school. I was like having a panic attack on the first day of school. I was like, no, I can't fucking do this. And I saw him and he was trying to get back with me. And he was trying to follow me everywhere. So he stalked me on my social medias. He would stalk me. He found out where all my classes were, and he would follow me from class to class. Because last year he used to walk, when I was dating him, I used to walk with him from class to class. Like, he would walk me to my classes, and I really liked that. But now I don't like it anymore because of what he did in the past. Like, I can't get past like what happened in the past. Like, he made like a fake ass apology video on YouTube, which is really fucking stupid that he made a video on it instead of apologizing to my face. But he did apologize to my face eventually at school when because I was like ignoring him. He was like following me everywhere, and I was just like, no, get the fuck away. But he did end up apologizing to me. But like, no, I told him I forgive him, but like, that doesn't, just because I forgive him doesn't mean I want him back in my life. Like, I just can't, like, it affected me so negatively, and it's still affecting me to this day. It gave me really bad depression. I mean, yeah, I kind of had depression before when it came to like my mom and cousin and other things that were happening in my life with my family and my sister, and you know, just other things that I don't want to get into. Yeah, that kind of gave me depression. I'm not gonna lie, but what happened, this boy gave me like really bad depression. Like, I really wanted to kill myself because I knew I was so fucking stupid for what I did, and I know I can't change the past, and I'm gonna have to live with the shitty thing that I did for the whole rest of my life. So yeah. So I still felt really nervous and uncomfortable about going back to school and seeing him, and he's really fucking rude to my best friend, and I don't let him get away with that shit anymore. He thinks he's gonna take me back, but no, I'm not ever taking him back because of what he did in the past. So, in like late August, early September, I met this other boy. And I got with this boy, and it was also a toxic relationship, but it was not as bad as the other guy. It really wasn't that bad. And you're probably thinking, why would you jump into another relationship after being in a really shitty relationship before? Good question. Well, here's the thing. I thought, I've known this guy for a while. Like, I've known him for like a year and a half-ish, almost 2 years. So, you know, I trust him, and you know, I have him as a friend on Snapchat, and we talked occasionally, but not as often as I would have liked. But like, eventually, like, he invited me over to my house. He invited me over to his house. Yeah, like literally the day before we started school. And he was like, hey, I know you're really fucking depressed, because he saw my Snapchat stories. If you're friends with me on Snapchat, you know I posted really fucking depressing stuff because I really was depressed. That I wasn't faking. I did that because I felt like I had to get my feelings out somewhere. Maybe not the best idea to put it all out on social media, but whatever. What the fuck? And I was like, okay. And he was really nice and sweet to me. He would take me to the gas station and buy me, like, he would like buy me stuff. Like, he really, way better boyfriend than the other guy. Just saying. Like, he was actually really sweet and humble, and I really liked that. Because you see, like, he made me like get hope back after I lost all my hopes with this other guy, and he made me feel good about myself again. He made me like not be so depressed like I was before, and he would always tell me I was beautiful, and he'll always be like, he'd be like, I always thought you were a beautiful girl, I've always loved you. And I was like, that's sweet. So in about like October-ish, mid-October, that's when, but again, it was not as bad as my other relationship at all. That was a million times worse. But basically what he did, he was like trying to like pressure me to do stuff with him a little bit too fast. And he got jealous whenever I talked to other guys. Same thing, but he wasn't as bad as the other guy, like I said. You know, he never really did anything. All he would just do was just run his mouth to me, but he never really did anything. But he never really liked it. And whenever I didn't like text back to him right away, he'd be like, don't fucking leave me on red, you know I hate being left on red. And then he'll like, see, here's what he would do. He would like act like he was depressed, like, oh my god, I'm really sad and upset right now because you left me on red. And sometimes I would leave him on red. I would only leave him on red if he texts back something like, hey, or okay, or yeah, or, you know, something that doesn't need to be replied to right away. So yeah, and then he would get mad at me for not talking to him 24/7, like he would like me to. Yeah, he would just get mad over dumb shit. But he would get over it, but then he would just go back to being mad at me over dumb shit again. And then we went through this period where he just completely stopped talking to me altogether. Like, he would just ignore me, and I was like, okay, why'd you ignore me? And then like a couple days later, he would text back at me like, oh, sorry, make up excuses. But, you know, eventually he got tired of me, I guess. And he went to another girl. Yeah. Me and him are still cool. It's just, it was really shitty the way he broke up with me. It was just like, okay, I'm done with you. Moving on to another girl. I'm just like, okay, shit. And they're currently still together. I'm happy for them and everything, but whatever. And this is a girl that he's known for a really long time. I kind of felt uncomfortable when he talked to her because I felt like he liked her. And he does, and he's with her, but you know, that's all on him. Oh, and another thing he did, he would just like constantly be texting me like, oh, send if he like send pictures, I want to see. And then he would always want me to go over to his house, and whenever I couldn't go over to his house, he'd get all pissed at me like, sorry, I just can't because I'm busy. And he'll be like, well, I should be your number one priority. And then he'd be like, and then like he'd be like, oh, I feel like you don't care about me. Why don't you care about me? I do all this shit for you. Like, I do care about you. I just sometimes am busy. And he'll be like, busy doing what? Aren't I your top priority? So whatever. So yeah, he kind of pressured me to do some stuff. He would make me like send him pictures online. But yeah, probably not the smartest thing to do, but that's his way of doing dating and relationships. But you know, that's him. If his current girlfriend is okay with that, then it's fine. I just wish nothing but the best for them. And it just really hurts me to see. I'm still in love with this boy because, you know, he really like helped me out. Like, he really did help me out when I was going through a dark period of my life. Like, after my other very bad toxic relationship, like that lasted for about like 3-4 months ish of me like being really super depressed. And he like really tried to help me out, and he would talk to me and stuff, and you know, we were just really close friends, and we eventually ended up starting to date, but it didn't work out. Kind of acted shitty towards me, kind of made me feel bad about myself, but you know, that's just him. In his defense, he's got some shit going on in his life, but whatever. And he was actually way smarter than my other ex. Like, he's better at hiding things from me than my other ex, and you know, he's better at disguising himself as a great, wonderful person, even though he may not actually be the greatest person ever. He can be a very shitty, rude person. Like, he's very two-faced. Like, he'll be all nice and stuff one minute, and then the next he'll be very bitchy. But yeah, I don't know how I did it describing this. I probably did a bad job describing this. But yeah, basically, I got myself involved in 2 toxic relationships. Oh, another thing, because, you know, being in the first toxic relationship that I was in, it affected my life so negatively. You know, a lot of people, like, didn't want to deal with me anymore after that period of time, and I just had my best friend. And, you know, I just felt so good that he wasn't embarrassed by me and wanted to deal with me. But, you know, the way he went about things was kind of shitty, but he just made me feel good about myself. But yeah, anyways, that's my story of the 2 toxic relationships I was in. Be careful out there. There are a lot of shitty people. Take care of yourself. Don't be in toxic relationships. And happy early Valentine's Day. Bye.